Welcome to the master class, Powering Your Machine Learning Model with LinkedAI.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Paula Villamarin. I'm co-founder at LinkedAI. I'm going to be your host today. So welcome to our very first masterclass on how to enhance your machine learning model with data in the shortest time possible and with the highest quality. Well, first of all, we know how data labeling is crucial for training and improving AI algorithms, but we also know that it can be really painful and really complex and challenging process. And believe me, we've been there. So it takes a lots of time and lots of work. So today we are here to provide you with the necessary tools to master data labeling for computer vision. So before we begin, I would like to introduce you to our expert for today masterclass, Diego. Diego Parra is our CTO and co-founder at LinkedAI. And we are a data annotation platform, training data generation platform to generate enough training data and at the highest quality for your computer vision models. So, with over 10 years of experience in software development, Diego has led technology teams to success in various companies. He is an active leader in the technology community, and he has contributed to lots of open source projects and serving as ambassador at CTAI, that is a global network of AI professionals dedicated to the responsible development of diverse applications of artificial intelligence. So, welcome to this masterclass, Diego, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us today.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Thanks for the introduction, Paula. Today we're going to talk about creating your first labeling project on the LinkedAI platform. Having the right tools and process in the place can make a significant difference in quality and efficiency on our project. So we'll see how to do it with LinkedAI platform. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Diego Parra, like Paula tell. I'm CTO at LinkedAI, so I manage all the tech team, and we are building some of amazing tools manage your project and to accelerate the labeling process with all the things that are out there right now. We'll talk about that a little more later, and we'll see these some of these new tools we're building. Um, so before we start, uh, let's see what we're talking about. I think my presentation is not on the screen, right? Okay, here we go. So, like you said, let's say first take a look of what we're going to talk about today, and for that we are going mm, to talk about the pipeline to create computer vision models and see a quick demo on how to create this pipeline on our platform. After that, we are going to see some different labeling techniques, and we'll talk about pre-labeling and automation and all the new foundation models out there and how we're using it in LinkedAI. And finally, we will end with a Q&A session. And if you have any question at any time, feel free to send it through the chat. At the end, in this Q&A session, I will address all of them. So let's get started. And let's talk about a little about the pipeline of creating a computer vision algorithm. And well, for this, when you start a computer vision project, this is like a normal pipeline, the one you're seeing here. Feels first of all, you will need to get sure that the problem you are solving needs to be solved with AI, right? So we will suppose that's the case, that the correct approach is work with AI. And let's say, for example, you have a lot of fish and seafood, and you want to manage the weight of these data of these animals. So you can do it really quick. And for that, you're going to use AI, right? So you can have image like that we have in the right side. This is a shrimp, and imagine you put a setup for this, then where you can capture this kind of data, uh, and start like measuring the weight, maybe knowing if the product have the right quality, uh, and other stuff you can work with that. This will be like the raw data, and this will be like the first step in your process. Then you will have to labeling, and for this you can use LinkedAI. So with LinkedAI, you will be able to handle all the data, label it, put some pre-labels like using our platform, using machine labels or manual labels like our internal team, and then you can go and train your model uh, and see how it works, right? So the process is normally iterative. So you are going to be doing this in different sequentials. So you can train your model, test the results, and go back. And with LinkedIn, you can do this really easy. You can use our API, so you can connect your model and be doing this really, really fast. And this is like a normal pipeline, right? You get your raw data, you label, you train, and you iterate over this process. It will be like a normal process for your labeling data. And now we can go to a platform, please. So here is our platform, and I'm going to show you how to do this in LinkedAI. Like I told before, you can do it all with the API, but also you can do it directly in the platform. So I'm going to show this first. So here we go. First, we'll need to create a data set. For this example, we're going to create a fish dataset, the one I was talking before. You can create it here. Then you can upload your data. If you have ton of data, this will be easy through the API, but right now you can throw it right here and the data will go up. You will have all the image in there. Wait this to finish. Okay, we're almost done. Here we go. So there it is. Now we have all our image up there. Here you can take a look of the image. It looks. That's it. That's the first step. You have your raw data. After that, you can get that here to projects and create a project. Let's create this like seafood. Wait, like that. And after that, we can use the dataset we already create, or also we can create the dataset right here. And that's it for now. And then you can create your own team if you are working with more people or you are just like leading the team and you have a team of labelers, or also if you are working with LinkedAI, we can provide this kind of service. You can put a team here. Let's use this one, and you can create one, invite the people you want. That's it if you're working by yourself or with a team. And after that, we're going to go here and select our type of labeling. We have like a lot of types of labeling. We'll talk a little more about these types right now, but for this example, I think segmentation is the best option. You can change the color of your label. Let's add some classes, some categories, sorry. So fish and maybe shrimp that we see we have some streams also there. So add these classes and click on finish, right? So after this, you will have your your project here. You can get into your project. And here I said I have 18 image and you can start labeling the project. So here are the image. But before we do that, let's go back to the presentation and let's talk about a little more about what types of labeling we have, right? So can we go to the presentation right now, please? So like you see in the platform, there are a lot of um, of types of annotations. You can see there are maybe the common one and the most known is bounding boxes. That is the one we use for object detection normally. It works in a lot of cases to detect people and count cars. For example, yeah, that's the example we have here. That we want to count cars in a parking lot. So there will be a nice use case. But well, as you can see, it's a small image, but this is not like the best approach for some cases because you have like some noise there because the boxes are taking part of the street or yeah. So that can work for counting and easier stuff like for object detection, like I told before. Uh, mostly of all of these ones are here are object detection. We also have like classification in our platform, but let's focus on object detection. So if we want to go for something a little more precise, we can uh, use polygons, and for polygons, um, you can go to a better use cases that, well, not better, but maybe use cases that need more precise labeling that are like medicine and many other type of cases when you need to be more precise to detect this type of anomalies. Medicine, I told is a really good case for this type of labeling because there's a lot of you need a lot of precision there, right? Uh, and after that, there are some more mm, more types of labeling that are more for specific use cases. For example, landmarks or points are mostly used in motion detection. So if you want to find the motion or track people, there's a lot of use cases you can use this kind of labeling. And after that, we have lines that are also used mostly in autonomous driving uh, to select the lines in the road and can help in this kind of cases. Also, we have cuboids that are also really using in autonomous driving to get like a more 3D approach, where are the objects. So when you're moving like a car or this kind of autonomous driving vehicles, will need maybe to know this kind of movement and to identify a 3D objects. They'll be really uh, nice to have. And we normally use for this type of use cases also LiDARs. These kind of labelings are sometimes done over image, but also over a lot of points. So yeah, it can vary. And finally, we'll have semantic segmentation. This type of labeling uh, will is the one we will use today to show some of the stuff we are doing right now in LinkedAI. And it's pretty interesting because used to be one of the uh, cases that was more difficult to get done, especially where you were doing it manually, because it's really time consuming for this type of labeling. You are assigning like for each pixel one category and you have to segment all the image like you can see in the image right in the corner. And this type of labeling manually will take a long ride. Is really hard, but now you can see, we'll see that there are more tools that are getting out there with these new foundation models based in image, and that we are introducing in LinkedAI that can help you do this really, really quick. And that's the interesting part of how this is coming. Uh, so yeah, there are like the mainly types of labeling we are reading today. And let's see. I think I'm talking a lot about foundation models, right? But let's see what's a foundation model, right? So a foundation model is an AI neural network trained on a mountain of raw data, generally with unsupervised learning that can be up to accomplish a broad range of tasks. Uh, yeah, and many kind of stuffs. Maybe the more common right now is ChatGPT that use GPT 3.5 under the hook. And this is like like I said, the most known foundational model. So you can ask like any type of stuff to this model, and it will respond with something really coherent, you can say. So that's the interesting part, right? But this cannot only be used for this. That is like the first case we can show here, that is question and answer, but also it can be used in more cases. And this is possible because these models are trained up millions of data, and right now OpenAI is working in GPT-4. They have a closed beta right now, but they can also work with image and stuff like that. So that's interesting about these models, that can generalize much better and are really big models that you can use to then narrow to your use case, using it in the correct way, like maybe doing some fine tuning, or or yeah, or just pre-label with this kind of models. That is something we're going to see here. But yes, you can also detect sentiment analysis. We can extract information. We can do image captioning like with clip. That's another model out there. Object recognition, using stuff like John Dino, and even you can create new image, right? You haven't heard for Midjourney, Dali, or this kind of new models that also can create image based on a prompt. And mostly how these foundation models work, they receive a prompt and then get back an answer. And you see, there's also a really interesting model developed by Meta that can help you like find all the objects in an image, right? And this model is called segment anything, or SAM. And that was a model. This is a model developed by, like I told before, Meta AI Research, and it's a really interesting model because it receives some prompts, and then it'll suggest masks for this kind of prompts. These prompts are like a little different or what we're used to. That maybe we send a phrase or a word to the model. Here we send some information, like can be points, a bounding box, or maybe also some text to get this result. Yeah, and some can do this in different ways. It can segment all the image and find all the objects, or it can receive prompts to get the model, the mask we want. But the interesting about this is this was, like I told before, a really difficult process. So if we can get all the image already segmented, after that we can label it, because some can recognize like the different objects, but cannot tell which object is one normally. So we have to combine maybe with some kind of other models, maybe Ground Dino, or maybe also we can, in some cases, this will be John with manual review. That will be right now for special cases the most accurate solution, right? Because uh, like foundation models are really good doing the job for like general cases, like more common cases, because mostly of these models are trained with millions of data, but this data is the one that is in internet. So if we're going for just for specific cases, we will see that these images are normally used are not normally found in internet. So you have like a specific setup for a problem. Maybe this foundational model will have some mistakes here, and there as well you will need some extra work, some manual work, but it will be less than before, right? So this approach was really interesting and helped a lot to get the segmentation done. So we take part of this model and integrate it on LinkedAI. And we use this approach, the one that use points to get this working. So we integrate this to get really easy to you to use SAM in your projects to pre-label label really quick your data. So you will get the image. The image will be encoded and get all the possible mask in the image, then downsample, and then you will add some prompt to the information. This have a lot of good things, and is that make it really quick to label because the image is already pre-labeled in some way, because you already create these embeddings that are a really nice like representation of the image. So with some prompts, you will start getting some of this stuff. You will see a little example after that in the platform. But the thing that you will see is that you can add some part. Maybe it is not correct. You can add some more extra points to get to the final result, to get the correct math you are looking for. Uh, so that's mainly what we're going to do, and that we want to present you how to use them in LinkedAI platform.
That's great. Well, I think that was a great introduction to data labeling and training data for computer vision. So before we continue with the demo of the platform, remember that you can have any questions that you can leave them on the comments, and also feel free to visit our website and contact us if you have any further questions. For our next session, the next part, Diego is going to talk about a very interesting topic. And this is all about automation. So in today's rapidly evolving world of AI, the demand for high quality training data, annotated data, is increasing exponentially. However, manual data annotation can be very time consuming, as Diego said before. Labeling like a whole image using semantic segmentation was like a really difficult task, and not many companies could do that before. So it was really tedious and also very prone to human error. So that's this is a huge step in data annotation process, and we have already implemented and integrated these foundation models like SAM to our platform to help you accelerate this process. So let's dive into automation, and welcome to our session on harnessing automation tools for efficient data annotation. You can take it from here, Diego.
Thank you. So let's go directly to the platform, please. Here we are. So let's see a little more about automation and how you can do it in LinkedAI. Like I said before, these foundation models can be really useful for this. And well, I explained a little about how some works, and we need to create these embeddings first. So for this, right now you have to do it manually. We are going to make this automatic in the future, but for now you have to do it manually. And this symbol here, let me know if this image has an embedding created or not. If it's white, the embeddings are not created. We can create the embeddings for all the image in the dataset or individually for each of this image. So let's create for all the images right now. It will take a little to create. But in the meantime, let's go back here and take a look on our project, right? So right now we have our project, like the images are created for the dataset because the image will not change, if we use it in different projects. Here we have like our classes. In label status, we can see the image we have, and we already label it, but we haven't done that before yet. So let's now see if the embeddings are ready. Take a look. Some of them are taking a while. Most of these ones are taking a while. Okay, I think I have another one. When this happened, I only have one. Right now, okay. Let's use for now another project. This one with traffic lights. I was working or playing with this before. Let's start with this one before until the other one get them things done. And here we are in the labeling platform. Here we can see that the embedding is loading. Can take a little. Internet is not working the best today, but here we go. Now we have the embedding load here in the platform, and now you can see that this is maybe not the best color for the class, but you can see that when I hover over every object, it shows me a probable way to label uh, the the generate a mask here. So here we were using traffic signs, but I was not adding like this part, so I cannot point here and it get all the sign. But if I want to remove this, I can do this. I get no, not a good mask, so can add another point here, maybe another here. And there you go. You have with 4 points a really good one. Then you can save it, and if you want, you can create another one. For example, suppose this was a traffic sign here, and we can add it also. And there you go, right? So that's the way it works. Let's see if our example is ready. So we have our fish here. And it seems that they are not ready yet. Okay. So we create a demo with the other one I have ready. Okay. This one have some image with embedding ready. Only one. Create polygon, call it fish. Finish this one. And here we go. Okay. Like the embedding was creating before for the data set. Supposed to here, this image have no, the other one have no embedding, but this one has. Now it's charging the embedding. And let's try to do with this one. Oh, here we go. And now that we have your embedding ready, you can see we can add our fish, and it's really, really easy, right? Because we only have to put 1 point. If we want to add something else, maybe a little part here, you can do it manually. Something like that. Maybe when we want to remove the eye, and we can do also that manually, right? There you go. So that's the way like that one. So let me try again. So that eye again, right? So there you go. And that's the way it works. Let's see if we can do it in our other image right now. Okay. Finally, we have some image with embeddings. So let's try it in this other data set. Okay. This one has no embedding ready. You can notice because it's gray. It's trying to find that image that have the embeddings ready. Ready right now. Well, this is the same that we did before, but try it again. Try to do something weird in this one. Maybe just do it with an eye or something like that, so we can check that we can use it in different ways. So here we go. Maybe say we want to add the eye. Yeah, if you want only the eye, we can do stuff like that. And then you will have only the eye right there. But if we want to then put all the fish there, there you go. You will have the complete fish right there. Label it right. Let's try with another one. Okay, there it is. So almost the same. It's recognized also like even that this part is blue, really similar to this one. It recognizes it as a different shape. Look, we can try to do something like that. Just that part as another stuff, and here the fish, right? So if we have like different classes we can do this, and we can go for a complex segmentation. Maybe here we can add a little more of this part, something like that. There you go. Maybe there is no shrimp here, so that's okay. And for the fish, we are okay. Or let's see, this one have no embedding ready right now. Embedding. No embedding for this one. Have an embedding, okay. Let's try this one. Finally a shrimp, okay. There you go. Embedding not look good, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm. My internet is a little slow, so the embedding is taking a while to get ready. Okay. Try again to reload that embedding. Okay, it's not in the previous embedding. Okay. Okay, I found a bug right in the middle of a live demo. That I guess is what's supposed to happen with live demos. Trying to find screen again. Sorry, my internet is not working the best today. So let's leave it like that, but I think it is really clear how this is working. It's in a beta. We have some books there. And notice you can maybe see some of them. So let's go to the final part, and let's take a look into how to download the data and see visualize them, right? So after you have like all your image ready, you can take a look here. We'll take a little longer look here later, but here you can see the we have some image already labeled, and then it will be really easy to download here. Right now we have only LinkedAI format, and you can download all the images, just the images that are done, the ones that are reviewed, right? So you can generate the mask, and then request the label, request the labels. So with that, you will have uh, you will have you will be creating this JSON that will contain an URL that will have the mask of the image. This is like the easy way to do it for a demo of if you are just making some testing, but also you will, if you work with us, we'll have an API that you can integrate directly in all your pipeline. So that will be easy, and that's the way we work with all clients. Um, Let's go back here. This is a really interesting part of the process. We have this new tool called the visualizer that allow you to see all your image and the labels in a single place. This is a really interesting tool, so you can filter and see all the image on your project. This will be really interesting. Maybe not when you only have 9 images, but you have like thousands of images to see the image that have a specific class, to see how the labelers or the labelers are doing it. It will be really a really interesting way to manage and to review your data without leaving the platform. And you can do it in the middle of the process, so you can get maybe make some enhances in your labeling, in your instructions. And here you can uh, um, filter the image by the status, see the images that are done, the ones that are accepted, and the one that was skipped. Also, you can just see the image in the category you want. You can also hide the labels right there. So this is really helpful, and you can see how the labels are doing it. These ones are a little uh, difficult to see, but if you see here, they're where over these signs here, you see they're supposed to have this label. So this will help a lot. You can see the image by each of the labelers you have, so you can control the quality of each one of your labelers. Right now, the only one labeling here. You can also remove the filling of the label, so it will be easy to see the how they're labeling and the information below the label. And this is a really interesting tool that you can use in a lot to get a lot of information of your data. You can also come here and see some information of the data, more like in graphs and stuff like that, to see how many images are done, how many are missing, how many are reviewed, also how many labels you have of each type. This is really important to don't have unbalanced projects, and you can see like the percentage of each one of the classes. And all this information give you a lot of insights of your data. So you, with all this information, you can do better data analysis before you can go to train your model, and work a lot before in your data and get better results for what you are looking for. And I think that's it. Uh, uh,
Okay, so we have reached a very exciting part of the session and the final part of the session. This is the Q&A session with our expert, Diego. So Diego is here to address any doubts, concerns, curiosities, questions that you may have regarding today's masterclass. And to make the most out of the Q&A session, we encourage you to actively participate and ask any questions that you may have that will benefit not only you, but also the entire audience. So let's kick off the Q&A session. Type any questions that you may have in the chat, and sure that we get as many as we can addressed by Diego. So let's see if I have one. So I have one. So the first question would be, do the images have to be in a specific format, or does it work with formats or different different formats for the
Mhm.
images?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Right now we support JPG, PNG, and BMP. That's the formats we have like fully support. We can uh, maybe handle or format, but that are the ones that are support for all type of the labeling types we have right now, even for the using some.
Nice. I have one of mine. Um, do you have like more examples on use cases for these segmentation um, annotation type? Like which are the most common, or like for people to think like, okay, where can I use this in the real life? So you have
Yeah,
some
for sure.
examples.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe one of the most common example is autonomous driving. For this kind of you know of process, you need a lot of this type of labeling. Normally, you want to segment like all the street, maybe the sidewalk, and other stuff like this. So a lot of autonomous driving can use segmentation, maybe insurance to get the price of a house or stuff like that. You can see, you can get a lot of information of a photo from this kind of labeling. Also, like I said before, medicine is a use case when you need a lot of information. If you are more precise, this is really interesting. So you can use it to make some segmentation of cells and this kind of stuff can be really interesting, and it will be really fast with this kind of approach because like I was telling, even that this model was trained with a billion image, it can get good performance with image have never seen. This is called like zero shot learning, that the model can predict that there is an object there because even don't know what it is, so it can imagine even have never seen that object before, right?
Great. Okay, that's great. We have another question here. How is the quality of labels ensured in LinkedAI platform? So that
Well, we can get
how we ensure that the quality of the labels at the end before starting our training is the highest quality.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Like these models can help a lot, but they can make some mistakes. That's normal because we can use this to do pre-labeling and accelerate the process, make some automation. That's the idea. But at the end, there is a really important part that is the manual part for review mainly. We will need to review the image and check that everything is done in the right way. So that's what we do in LinkedIn is this. We have like different process and a pipeline that include not only labeling but review. So with the reviewing process, we ensure that all the labels are good, that the pre-labels that we receive were well reviewed and make it work in the correct way, right? Maybe you can add something more
Yeah.
in that parable.
Sure. Well, if I may add to that, I would say like we have different tools to ensure the quality of the data. So first, as you said before, we can automate a part of the process, but then you can have your own team reviewing all these labels and making sure that they are good. But to make it like faster and better, having like a good training data pipeline, it's great for you to loop back images that maybe are not the highest quality, so they get back to the pipeline and they are reviewed again until you get like the highest quality. And also the tool that we showed before, the visualizer, it helps a lot for to ensure the quality of the data, because there you can see all your images, all your labels. You can filter, you can search, you can find there in the fastest way, like these images that are not correct, and then loop them back to the process. So that's one of the tools that can be very, very useful when trying to get the highest accuracy in this training data. We have another one. So what is the average number of labeled images I can have per hour? So
Well, it will
average
depend a
number
lot,
of
right?
labeled images. Yeah. Yeah, go on.
It, yeah, it will depend a lot of the in the use case you're doing it. So I think in some use cases that are really easy, that the one I was showing where like the background is really separate from the object you are looking to segment, you can get like 10 times faster the speed that if you do it like manually. So that is a huge uh, uh, way to get better in this kind of labeling. But maybe you can get some other cases that it's not that easy and you have to make some corrections that it be manually, but you can also can get 2x faster in this process. So it will depend because it depends in the things that you're looking for. If you are segment a complete image, maybe you have to take a look that all the classes are correctly uh, added, or maybe that the yeah, it will depends a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so in conclusion, it depends. I would add to that also that it would depend on the labeling type that you're using. Bounding boxes is really fast. You can get hundreds of images labeled in 1 hour, in contrast to semantic segmentation. But now it's getting like really close to that because you can accelerate the process with this kind of tools. So yeah, it varies a lot. It varies also on the number of categories that you have, on the number of objects that you have within the image. So yeah, it would depend. But if you're interested in knowing more, just let us know and we can give you access to the pro version of the platform, or we can make a demo with any sample images that you may have. So I think we have time to answer the last question. So this one is, how can we measure the effectiveness and performance of computer vision models trained with the data from the platform?
That's really good question. And there are a lot of um, way to measure this out there. Uh, a map is maybe one of the common one that is the average precision, and you can do it this with some data that you have that is like a benchmark for you. So yeah, I think map is one of the one I use the most for all my projects to measure the precision. Normally, also in LinkedAI, when we help some clients with the process, if they already have some model, we try to get like the state of the model in that moment, and we measure again after we deliver the data, and with that measure, and it also varies, right? Because it depends. Some projects want a measure of 95% accuracy, and others need a 99% accuracy. So we try to get the one that the client is looking for, because you want to go to that kind of precision, you also are going to need a lot of more data and more iteration. But it will depend on the case. In medicine, you will need maybe 99%, but if you're just looking to count cars, maybe 99% is almost pretty good, right?
Okay. Yeah. So I will answer the last question.
But
Rob is asking if we have a labeling team, or do he needs to have his own labeling team, the labeling tasks. So at LinkedAI, we provide a labeling service where we take care of the whole process. So you just have to send us your data set, instructions, and we will take care of the whole annotation process, reviewing everything you need, and deliver back the results in the format that you need to train your algorithm. But we also offer the use of our platform by a subscription, where you can have your own labeling team. You can upload your data there. You can track the progress of your project, the progress of each one of the members of your team. You can have different roles there that I think we didn't mention it before, but we have different roles in the platform for the admin, the labeler, the reviewers, and they have different access controls depending on the roles. So you can have your own labeling team there as well. And we also assist most of our clients. They use our platform, and we can also assist them in, for example, the reviewing process. If they they already have their own pre-labeled data, they can upload the pre-labeled data to the platform, and we will make sure that we can review all these results to make sure they are correct and they are in the highest quality. And we can work those in those ways. So yeah, I think that's wrap up. Let's well, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you find this information very valuable in our master class. We will have more activities like this and more master classes, I hope, and webinars. So we also invite you to follow us on our social media to keep you posted on our next events. And well, you can find us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Instagram, and we will also make sure that you receive this session on your email if you want to repeat it. And as I said before, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask and contact us by our website. So thank you everyone for joining us, and have a good day, night, wherever you are. Bye.
bye.